Back with us now and back with Breakfast Television is Mike Eppel standing by from 680 News. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. How are you this morning?
I'm fantastic. 2 days in this seat, and the energy level is up at this hour, so that's fantastic. You've had some sleep recently, but now you're back in the chair. So what's happening in business this morning?
Looking at the latest real estate numbers in from the Toronto Real Estate Board, Mark, and what we've seen here, much like the economy, the real estate market has bounced back here in the summertime. And you look comparably to last year, you wouldn't think that a pandemic has actually ripped through the economy. The sales in June across the GTA, 8,700 transactions. That's almost double the May figures. So we saw, the pent-up buying that was going on pre-pandemic. People, once things started to open up, started buying houses again. Prices are up almost 12% compared to a year ago. And we're looking overall at the 416, seeing big price increases for detached properties. $1.5 million is now the average in the 416 for a detached home. $1.2 million for a semi. Can't imagine the place that we sold back in the mid-2000s in the beach. Oh, my goodness. What would that sell for today? I don't want to know.
It's so true.
It's ridiculous.
And we purchased at that time and thought we were getting into a market that was way over our head. But
I thought, my goodness, how much have we spent? But anyway,
it's so surprising to see. It's so surprising to see that the market is in check like this. Is it people that had their money set aside before losing it all in their investments, and they just knew that they had to somehow purchase that home?
Look, mortgage rates are near record lows, so that's one factor. The job market's still, it's starting to recover, and I think people who were in a situation where they were looking to buy earlier before the pandemic, now they said time to buy now, and they're looking for space. So detached properties are selling. We saw some cottage country real estate data just last week where sales are up 25%. So again, you're seeing a changing dynamic. It's still, somewhat tentative. If we see a second wave or anything of that nature, that could, throw things the other way in very short order. But right now, new listings are down 22%. There's nothing on the market to buy. So if you see something, it sells within a couple of days.
So real estate doing okay. Restaurants, not so much.
This is an ongoing scenario for business in general. This slow pace of the recovery, how much can they open? Restaurants specifically, okay, they can run a patio. They're still, keeping people separate, and they don't have the capacity that they previously did. It was the margins were tight before all of this. If you can't have in-store dining, Restaurants Canada, a lobby group, is basically saying this whole industry needs government support for the long term. 50%, more than 50% of restaurants that are currently open are still losing money, Mark, and that is not a viable proposition long term. So that industry, it's looking better, but still has a long way to go.
I think a lot of people are probably still a little wary about heading out to restaurants, especially the ones that are open indoors. Yeah. Sure, a patio is nice, but the owners aren't getting a whole lot of income as a result of that.
No, and the margins are incredibly tight.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the markets before we head out. Obviously, there's NASDAQ is doing well.
Okay, so yesterday we had Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, and Tesla all at record highs. Those are all in the NASDAQ. Some are in the Dow. Stocks have been hitting records. So again, pandemic, what's that? Tesla was up 13% yesterday. Electric car sales are moving higher here. So we're seeing a changing dynamic in that marketplace. Amazon, people were buying with the shutdown. They're still buying on e-commerce. Amazon is above $3,000 per share for the first time ever. I said Microsoft, Netflix hit a record. I mean, it just goes on and on. Today we're seeing a little bit of caution. But again, is it economics? Is it central bank activity? Is it people saying, I can't get anything for a GIC or anything in the bond market, may as well buy stocks? So the momentum has certainly been a play. And the FOMO trade, let's face it. Day traders, we've seen a big increase in day traders saying, well, I got nothing to do, so I may as well trade stocks, can't go to a casino. I'm saying that to some extent in jest, but not really.
Well, and we know with those companies, the rich are getting richer as well. Mike, thanks for joining us this morning. Great to see you again, pal.
You too.
Okay.